Ooh, it's a lot of smoke out of that car. Well, guys, when I first started riding, people ask, why did you get into riding? Basically, let's start over. Okay. The reason I got a motorcycle is I had sold my car because it was a piece of junk and I got tired of fixing it. So I sold it for $400, and for almost 3 years I had no vehicle. And it was so frustrating because living in Kansas City, there's terrible public transportation. My friends had crazy schedules. For a while I was working nights, and so it was just really hard to find rides anywhere, and you felt, if you didn't work that day, it sucked because you were stuck at home with nowhere to go, no one to hang out with, and basically my social life was suffered, and my emotional health suffered because I felt like I was home arrest or something. It was horrible. A friend generously gave me some money to buy a bicycle, and I bought a bicycle. Now we lived this is worth this long intro of me just sitting here. We lived at the end of this long hill. It's a long hill. You're gonna see it here in a minute. So I had to come up. It's a street right here, and I had to come up this street, and then go that way, and then go down that street. Like, if only there wasn't private property with fences and hills right here. Like, I totally could have just gone right across to work. But no, I had to come all the way up and over, and all the way back down. Ends up being about 2 miles. So I would, all the way there, it's downhill. Because, like, the ground is even there. It's, like, just uphill here, and it's downhill over there. So going down to work was great, but then coming up was, ugh. But this hill's even worse than the one over on that road. This hill is like, it's got a couple of these, and it does this again, and it's this long hill, and every day on the way home on a bicycle, I loved it. It was my favorite part of the day, because it felt so freeing just to be on two wheels, and of course on a bicycle, it's quiet. So there's no motor, there's just the sound of the wind, and just that freedom of two wheels that we all love as motorcyclists. It was a very, very basic form of that. So I fell in love with it, and I remember thinking, geez, this is great. If only I could do this uphill and not have to pedal. So I started doing research into putting a motorized, into getting like a motorized kit for my bicycle. And then I was like, wait a minute, I'll just buy a scooter. So I bought a little scooter, and I really wanted to get this one at the time. But I ended up with a little yellow scooter instead. And actually, the first time I did a real vlog on it, I talked about how much I wanted this bike that I now own on Craigslist. And I bought this off of Craigslist, so I thought, and it was wrecked, and I've had this whole rebuild project I just did. Obviously, I have and after the scooter, I got the Ninja, and then I got the KLX. But I've come full circle, and I've got this, and I'm back in Kansas City, and I want to take that road and show you. Now, it'll be with a motor, but with a 50cc, honestly, it's the same thing as a bicycle in terms of trying to go uphill. But I'm not going to talk, because I never did on the way home. I just was quiet, just enjoyed the ride. I'm going to even leave the visor open so you hear the wind, and just show you this is the very hill that made me fall in love with motorcycling. So there you go. I thought it'd be a fitting tribute for the first ride with this thing. Oh, it's not in neutral. Here we go. Won't start if it's not in neutral. There we go. mind, it's cold. This would be my street. That's it. And then I would come home. Let's turn around. I was much faster on the bike, pinned wide open, but yes, that was wide open on my little scooter, but just thought it was cool. But a way to show you a little piece of this. I mean, riding is my passion. That's why I make these videos, because I love riding.